Hi, this is Sana Farzeen and welcome to India Today. I have with me the cast of Mohrey. The trailer looks amazing. How much of a chess game will we get to see in the show?
बहुत है, बहुत moves हैं, कौन कहाँ जा रहा है कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है आपको, वो खास बात है इस शो की।
हाथी कहाँ, घोड़ा कहाँ,
बिल्कुल,
सिपाही कहाँ, ये आपको देखना पड़ेगा।
Okay.
एक्चुअली ये दो खेल रहे हैं और मोहरे जो हैं वो ये सब है। तो किसी को पता नहीं कौन किसका है, कौन ब्लैक है, कौन वाइट है, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है। तो
बट पर्सनली अगर पिक करना हो तो कौन सी गोटी होंगे आप?
नहीं
We are playing
ना।
आप कैरेक्टर्स पिक
No,
Others
not
will come.
characters. I'm saying as Jaaved, if you had to think
अच्छा,
of chess, which one do you think?
Right, would I be a घोड़ा because I'm horsing around?
Interesting. Neeraj, Pulkit?
I think the same for me also, horse, because I like physical activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
आई थिंक आई वुड बी अ बिशप क्योंकि कभी भी तिरछा चल लेता है, कभी भी कहीं चले जाता है।
हाँ. Interesting. But tell me, recently, of course, in COVID, we saw OTT kind of ruling over the industry. There was such great content, but right now, people are complaining that there has been a stagnancy. The content is kind of seeing a decline. As audiences, of course, as actors, but as audiences, what do you have to say? Are you also seeing OTT kind of being plateaued now from the rise that it saw maybe 4 years back?
Maybe yes, maybe no, but yes. 4 years back, if you're saying, definitely there is you feel that there is a slight lull somewhere. It'll pick up, but it's coming to a point where it is getting a little lull, and now more theatre releases are happening. So that little shift is there, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Javed?
No, I agree. वो क्या हो गया है ना? Maybe you bask in your own success for some time. तो एक थोड़ा सा हो जाता है, अरे यार ये तो चल रहा है, तो ऐसे ही बनाओ। वो फंस जाते हैं उसमें। वो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री भी फंस गई थी ना कि ये रोमांटिक फिल्म चल रही तो सब रोमांटिक फिल्म बनाएंगे। तो ये somewhere on OTT, I think it's a phase, and they will again come back to the creative elements of taking licenses. लेकिन हाँ, कुछ चीज़ें हुई हैं because censor elements have come in. ये मत बोलो, ये मत कहो, तो कहीं ये कुछ बंदिशें आ गई हैं। तो you have to work around it. How do I go around this bandish? Because if you keep within that, then you start repeating and it starts looking the same.
Right.
So I think it'll evolve. Yep.
Pulkit, you tell me, when you are working with such stalwarts like these, is there a pressure while you are on set performing? Do you
Honestly,
feel
no.
Oh wow.
मेरे को तो कोई प्रेशर फील नहीं हुआ बिकॉज लाइक दे वर ऑल्सो वेरी नाइस टू मी एंड मुकुल सर बहुत ही अच्छे इंसान है। तो ऐसा मुझे लगा नहीं कि मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, कुछ नर्वसनेस नहीं थी, कुछ एंजाइटी नहीं थी। सो इट वाज ऑल नाइस एंड
Yeah. But what do you have to say when you're working with younger actors? आजकल की generation जो है actors की, are you seeing a change in them? Are you seeing a difference in them?
No.
Wow.
Actor is an actor. You do your job. Whether it was 30 years back, 40 years back, आपका attitude towards your character, you know, I don't think there's, and the overall perspective, not perspective, the pattern of acting थोड़ा सा subtlety बढ़ गई है अब, because everything evolves. Like you know, तो पहले की जो acting होती थी वो फिर slowly 40s 50s की मैं जा रहा था तुम्हें नहीं पता, अब वहाँ से evolve होके it comes to the 60s 70s, then so today we are getting closer to, in a way, international cinema. But on the other hand, if you look at the South cinema, and they are the biggest grossing 1,000 crores, 1,500 crores,
yes.
that acting is stayed put. They are still the mass acting, which is, you know,
Loud.
all that still works, boss, at some level. So I never look down because you are catering to an audience.
Yeah.
और हमारी बिजनेस की जबान बोलते हैं गिराक देख के पुड़िया बांधो। टारगेट ऑडियंस, यू नो, अगर वो ऑडियंस ये पसंद कर रही है,
Yeah.
I can do it to some extent, कि ठीक है evolve, but they like that. They like that little over the top, थोड़ा सा एक nudge. So which I see if you look at all these big films, Bahubalis and Pushpas and RRR, वो थोड़ा over है, but it works for an audience.
Right.
It depends on the kind of cinema. Like इन्होंने किया, you do a film like Talwar, which is more realistic zone.
Of course.
So you play, you're doing Dhamal, which is a slapstick. So I got to play that. I can't be subtle there.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends on आप किस zone में आपका, what are you
बिल्कुल.
playing. So like this particular is a very real zone. हाँ, character अगर ऐसा है कि थोड़ा सा loud है, like मेरा character, इनका character बहुत अंदर it's like internal. मेरा थोड़ा external है. So you play the character.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people say underplay. This underplay for me is bullshit. You play. If you're underplaying, you're not playing.
Right.
You play. If your character demands, you go, that's your character. If his character demands, you stay there. Yeah, underplaying is just for bad actors.
Yeah.
No, but you know, the youngsters, especially now, what I find is that, personally, for the last few years, as I'm working with more and more youngsters, I find that they're getting much more serious about what they're doing on set, because I think there are so many of them now coming in. So they have that slight pressure with which they come. They don't take it for granted.
Right.
At least for me, I've been watching them and they are there. They're really on their toes to be there, to repeat, to think again to go back. Whereas you find a lot of other youngsters also very chilled out, they're doing this, and you can make the difference. You know, you can see that, okay, these are not people who will really last too long because ye ravaiya abhi se hai. But a lot of them, most of them I've seen are really there. They're bang on over there. They're looking at you also when you're working. They're looking at everybody who are slightly senior to them, and they're coming in with what they have to give. And when they make a mistake, they also regret. I've seen that happening. They say, oh shit, yeah. And they go back behind again. They practice before the director says, ek aur. And they know they made a mistake. So that's a very beautiful thing to watch on set.
Amazing.
No, you know, what I meant was, and what he's saying is absolutely, that because of the competition, there is so much. So 30 years back, you had film. Then TV came a little later.
Yeah.
Then OTT has come. So there's so much of competition happening compared to when I was in film, there was just film. You know. So वो बात इन्होंने बहुत सही की because competition is. So they have to be on their toes because it's like the immediate gratification, Maggie noodles, 2 minutes. If you can't hold your attention, like the OT, 5 seconds hold नहीं किया, next you shift. So that competition, the youngsters are feeling that, and the professional people. Like see my son, he is totally clued in. Case क्या he's watching everybody on set. He doesn't go back to his van. He's sitting and he's watching the actor. Okay, what you can pick up. I told him that. I said observe. Right? He does that. He watches films. He'll watch because, like you said, you know, you're gone. So you've got to be at the top of your game. Say they're much more involved from that.
I have a little game for you because, of course, from different generation. Because all of you are from different generations. Tell me, like, we'll basically discuss how each of you take. What's your take on these certain topics? First is, of course, bro codes. Like, what's your take? Bro code.
Bro code.
Bro code.
हाँ वो आजकल ये इनकी जनरेशन में बताना bro code मतलब
Did you guys also have like a bro code back in time?
I'm sure he didn't. I didn't also.
नहीं वो bro code like see okay so there is something which ये बहुत पुराना है नया नाम दे दिया है कि where men have an understanding and when they come together they know there's a wife zone and certain things cannot go to the wife zone and that's a code which is there between के boss अगर ऐसा हुआ है तो वहाँ तक नहीं पहुँचनी है बात और अगर वहाँ से कुछ आएगा तो we have to cover up.
He's still learning. He's still learning.
We have to cover up for the bro.
Yeah.
So वो तो कब
अच्छा वो है bro.
हाँ it's basically नया नाम दे दिया.
Pulkit, what's your take on bro code?
My take on bro code बहुत ज़रूरी है. बचने के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है लाइफ में.
So it's basically the same thing. Yeah.
Same thing, different names.
Okay.
I thought he was about to say broccoli.
We of course discussed success and failure. About how different generation. But tell me heartbreaks. Like how did you guys take heartbreak and how's the new generation taking heartbreaks? How do you deal with it?
I don't know how the new generation takes.
No, you can say your thing and he can. So we just have a
heartbreak
discussion.
heartbreak होता है यार मतलब शुरू में जब 18, 19, 20, 21 की उम्र में जब प्यार व्यार हो जाता है और फिर वो जब ब्रेकअप हो जाता है आप ब्रेकअप करेंगे तो आपको कुछ ज़्यादा होता नहीं है सामने वाले को होता है लेकिन जब सामने वाला ब्रेकअप करता है तो ऑब्वियसली यू गो थ्रू अ फेज मे बी यू लिसन टू ओल्ड हिंदी सैड सॉन्ग्स मेरा था वो I used to like actually listen to old sad Hindi songs and feel like ठीक है मेरे साथ कोई
So you had many heartbreaks. You broke hearts.
No, I had heartbreaks maybe not many maybe 3, 4.
Oh.
So वो थे and I went into like serious depression zones for some then I got out of it but हाँ वो था but I don't drink and smoke or do drugs so I didn't go into that zone कि भाई गम भुलाने के लिए मैं तो पिए जाऊँगा
There's this reel na that you can have chai while singing this song.
ठीक है आजकल तो I didn't have those things to resort to because that's the easiest way out is you know you get into but I didn't have to so you have to face it.
Neeraj?
I really, quite frankly, it might sound like something else, but I think I was these things kept happening here and there, but I never went through a heartbreak like
Okay.
that. Never. I've never really started, "Arey yaar, haan." Yes, you feel that when you're in love. That I've gone through.
Yeah.
You feel like totally something has shocked you and you're
Yeah.
just sitting quietly and understanding what the hell is happening, man. What did I just see? Who did I just meet? But heartbreaks, I don't think
Okay.
I've gone through. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think it just went away on its own or whatever. I don't
Oh.
know. But yeah, when the heartbeat has happened.
Honestly, I never actually had a heartbreak, but back in the time when I was in school, तो उस टाइम पे एक लड़की ने ना मतलब लड़की के साथ में था और मैं आई थिंक 8th या 9th में था, तो मैंने उसको बोला, उस लड़की ने मुझे बोला कि आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू बी विद यू, तो मैंने बोला अगर तुम मेरे साथ नहीं रहेगी तो मैं अपना ना हाथ काट लूँगा. सो नेक्स्ट डे शी गॉट अ ब्लेड एंड ये क्या कहते हैं बैंडेड के लिए हाथ काट के ना बैंडेड लगा लियो इस पे और सबको दिखाई हो कि तूने अपना हाथ काटा है. So very juvenile kind of a heartbreak, but
Yeah.
never really had a heartbreak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me, while trying to woo someone, like different takes
Woo
on how
someone?
trying to woo
वो
someone.
क्या होता है?
Patana.
Riz.
Achha, why are you asking these kind of questions? This is
हाँ मतलब मोहरे से क्या कनेक्शन है इसका?
Mohrey से क्या connection है इसके?
Because I thought it's just different generation. Let's do something
Different
fun.
questions.
Yeah.
Like आपने बोला था ना कि same question बार-बार.
हाँ okay.
Yeah, it's all related. You should relate to chess, not chess.
So see,
chess
chess,
and
like how do you
what's
move?
happening.
How do you make your moves while trying to kind of woo someone?
That, how do you move?
No,
Jaaved bhai, how do you
because see, if you genuinely, you make moves when you have ulterior motives, which are not
Yeah.
नेक इरादे जो हम कहते हैं. Those are moves. When you genuinely love, you don't make moves. You know, you just let the, you know.
Actually, very true. I don't know why I'm saying this, but yes, it's happened with me also. I've never really made a move like that. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Move.
Just trying to woo someone, like
पता नहीं यार मैंने तो like I've never tried to मतलब ऐसे शाहरुख खान का बनने की कोशिश नहीं की. No, I haven't.
तो लोग
I've seen people move towards me, but I'm not.
I can vouch for that. It must have happened for sure.
like this was a very moving film देखते हैं ना? This is a very moving picture. The audience moved to the exit.
Social media, of course. What's your take on social media?
Social
Media.
It's very unsocial
media.
actually. Sometimes. People
It
are
makes
very-
you unsocial.
हाँ मतलब there's so
Yeah.
much of hate, there's so much of, it's like extremes, you know. अजीब है, कुछ भी कोई बोल
कुछ
देता
भी
है.
होता है sir.
You know, so वो I just feel.
Are you stuck in that algorithm of reels? Like you keep on watching them
नहीं, I
all the
don't.
time,
नहीं,
एक के बाद एक के बाद एक.
I'm not into that. So मैं बहुत कम. I'm not. People get it's a addiction.
It
It's an
is.
addiction.
Yeah.
I have a friend who just keeps on doing this all the time.
नहीं अभी तो मैंने वही बना. अब आजकल हमारे यहाँ पे ना वो माला तस्बीह पढ़ते हैं ना, तो अभी वो मैंने वही बना.
वो ऐसे करते हैं.
दो हाथ वाली तस्बीह वो चल रही है इसकी यूं यूं करके वो. तो वो
Yeah.
सी फॉर मी मेरे लिए एक इंफॉर्मेशन का बहुत सॉलिड जरिया. आई डोंट लुक एट द इंस्टाग्राम्स एंड दो स्टफ. वो कोई भेज देगा तो देख लूँगा.
Right.
Mine is more what's happening, technology, socio-political, what's happening in the world. For me, that's important, and that connects to Wikipedia. It goes to various things. So that's very interesting for me because the links keep going.
Yeah.
कि history में ये हुआ था, इसका connection इससे क्या था. That takes up time, but that's a read. But not in like this. The time
Yeah.
pass. वो बहुत कम हुआ, I don't.
And I'm very bad with social media. If you see my Insta, there's nothing. in it.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do with it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And lastly, Entourage, we are all talking about how having a big team for actors have become a thing now. What's your take on that?
Big team is Entourage.
Yeah.
देखो वो हमारा मेरा बेसिक है बॉस कि देयर इज अ हेयर गाय, देयर इज अ मेकअप गाय एंड देयर इज वन असिस्टेंट. दैट्स इट. देयर इज बियॉन्ड दैट आई डोंट हैव अ टीम बियॉन्ड दैट
Okay.
गोइंग अराउंड अनलेस देयर इज अ सर्टेन थिंग वेयर यू नीड समबडी फॉर योर क्लोथ्स सो समबडी माइट कम. बट बाकी आई नो देयर आर एंटोurages ऑफ 10-15 लोग के होते हैं.
Yeah.
15 लोग.
हाँ बस ज़्यादा बट आई यू नो डोंट वांट टू टॉक अबाउट एनीथिंग एल्स. या बट मेरा तो उतना ही है बस. दैट्स इट.
Yes, I would agree to the same thing. Yeah, you just need hair makeup. You need somebody to be with you as a team member who can be around whatever you want, and that's about it. I think maximum to maximum maybe a manager's with you, just on the first second days. After that, you don't need people like that
Yeah.
to hang around. Also, I feel it's disturbing sometimes. You know, when you're working, you don't want so many people from your team over there just hanging around over there for no reason. And
Right.
you don't want to walk in like that with 5 people here, 5 people there, and walking in. At least for me, it's.
So, I mean, again, not naming anybody. There was some big ad being made in the Middle East, and Hollywood से there was Jaaved Butler, and यहाँ से कोई थे and big. Jaaved Butler का 2 लोग थे. वो खड़ा हुआ था, सामने वाले को शॉट देना है, तो he's just standing not in the frame, just giving like a look. It was an ad campaign. हमारे जो यहाँ से थे 10 लोग थे, एक जूता बांध रहा है, एक presidential suite चाहिए. So I'm just saying, sometimes थोड़ा सा, कभी-कभी क्या होता है ना, I think with due respect to even the managers, मतलब चाय से ज़्यादा केतली गरम वाला चक्कर कहते हैं ना, वो कभी-कभी ऐसा हो जाता है कि वो आर्टिस्ट के लिए नुकसानदेह हो जाता है. I don't see sometimes आर्टिस्ट को इतना नहीं वो सर वो करना पड़ता है,
दिखाना पड़ता है.
What's your take? Because young actors are often accused of having a bigger.
Yeah, I think all the young actors have an idea about being an actor, to be very honest. I have seen some young actors who haven't done some amazing work, but they move around with 15-20 people together, और मेरे लिए honestly बड़ा overwhelming होता है. मैं तो अकेला घूमता हूँ set पे, मुझे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है.
So, and in the 80s, so when I entered was 84, 85, 85. So we used to call the ice box syndrome. कि किसका आइस बॉक्स कितना फैंसी है, और एक वो चांदी का ग्लास होता था जिसमें पानी पिया जाता था, और स्पॉट बॉय इवन दो ही मे बी 25 years elder to you, it'll be like बेटा ओ अब वो बेटा. So this whole attitude thing, this is very funny for me. So yeah, so we used to call it the ice box syndrome. कि कितना उसमें क्या है, उसमें ग्लास का क्या है. तो
but I'd like to say something is that in my team I have somebody who does my hair and makeup. And at times when I'm doing costumes, she comes in and helps me with that also. At times when I'm doing something with my script, she helps me with that also.
Wow.
So I feel sometimes that, I think I don't need more than one person. She's handling everything. Her name is Mansi. She's there with me for a long, long time. And I think that's very beautiful at times when you say this, because you really feel that you don't need so many people around you. And if there is a work that you're doing that moves anybody, they will come on their own and be a part of what you're doing, because they see what you're doing and with what intensity you're working. People will come on their own to be part of your work. You don't need many people to do that. Just one person is there.
And lastly, Jaaved, what's your take on the trend that we are seeing of films getting re-released? What's your honesty?
Re-release मतलब it's like वो rebirth वाला चक्कर है. मानो तो ठीक है, पिछले जन्म में हम ये थे, अब इस जन्म में हम क्या बनते हैं देखते हैं. I think it's a passing fad, and sometimes, but again, you have to like raise the bar from perspective that technologically, you have to make it come up to today's standards. So the color corrections, the audio has to be changed. You can't play the same thing, otherwise there's no point. So I think Sholay tried that first when they went into a Dolby surround and they raised the bar, Atmos they went into. So I think it's that was a great attempt. They actually cinemas they converted to Atmos for Sholay. So you do something like that, So yeah, and the film has to be of that, I think level. Like Sholay best. I think that's the
of
best
course.
Way. Amar Akbar Anthony, I wouldn't mind seeing again. I think that was a great fun film.
Any films that you guys want to pick?
Sholay तो आ गई.
Sholay तो आ गई है.
Diwar.
Diwar, yes.
Diwar
is something that.
Great lines. I think the best line after Sholay and that level.
But sometimes, very frankly, I feel that they had a charm of their own, and to get them back again, personally, I feel that let it be as it is. Don't touch that. It's created something of its own, and it's done. It's gone. We enjoyed it like that so beautifully.
Amazing.
वापस कभी कभी मुझे लगता है कि नहीं आना चाहिए. It just should be where it was. Leave it there.
Amazing.
That's what at least I feel sometimes. Yeah.
Pulkit, you have some wish list?
Veer Zara is a good film. I just saw, and Karan Johar.
इसके दिमाग में चल रहा है. He's thinking Karan Johar अपनी फिल्म में मुझे कब लेगी. इसके दिमाग में ही चला था.
जोर से सोच रहा है वो.
अपने जौहर दिखा रहे हो.
Yes, Karan Arjun was also released. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for your time.